The Master's Mysteries, Tales of Magical Mastery, Episode 72. Continuing from the previous episode, the intense battle between Liao Fengyi and the tiger demon on the battlefield reached its climax, and everyone watched nervously. Liao Fengyi exerted all his strength to attack the tiger demon, but due to exhaustion, he collapsed backward. Liao Fengyi's full-force strike was quite powerful, hitting the tiger demon's vital point, causing it to be thrown over 10 meters away, crashing heavily onto the ground. In fact, under the continuous onslaught of his energy attacks, the tiger demon had long been on its last legs, and this blow was more than enough to be fatal. At this moment, all the demonic energy formed after consuming human hearts had dissipated, revealing the true form of the tiger demon. On the other side, Liao Fengyi also had a miserable victory. His vision darkened, and he fainted. Fengyi. Everyone was stunned at this point. Initially, they were excited to see Liao Fengyi defeat the tiger demon, but their hearts raced when they saw him faint. Fengyi, kid, are you okay? They hurriedly rushed forward to check on his condition. The battle with the tiger demon had left Liao Fengyi completely exhausted, but at this moment, he faintly felt another sensation rising within him. This sensation made his vision go black in waves, and his head grew heavier, causing extreme discomfort, but it also felt strangely familiar. Liao Fengyi suddenly realized something, but before he could fully understand it, his body completely lost control, and he fainted. Fengyi, how's everything in Liaodong? Indeed, after passing out, Liao Fengyi found himself in the presence of his master. Every time he saw his master, Liao Fengyi's emotions were mixed. He was glad that his master could communicate with him in this way, indicating that his master was safe. Master, where are you really? You instructed me to come to Liaodong, but I don't know what I should do. Sadly, ever since he followed his master's instructions to come to Liaodong, he had been wandering aimlessly, never really understanding what his master wanted him to do. Your every step in Liaodong, master is watching. Fengyi, you're doing great. But this time, to Liao Fengyi's surprise, from his master's tone and expression, it seemed that his master was quite pleased with his performance. Master also knows that you're about to enter the long white mountain immortal cave to visit the ancient predecessors. It appeared that everything Liao Fengyi did was within his master's expectations, and his master was equally aware of what he would do next. As for that great deity in the cave, what should I do once I find him? Mentioning the great deity in the immortal cave, Liao Fengyi couldn't help but feel curious. He had initially wanted to see the scriptures and treasures left by the great deity, but he hadn't thought about their specific purpose. Well, master, could you tell me a bit about his story first? Instead of answering Liao Fengyi's question, his master slowly began to narrate the story of the great deity in the cave. This great deity was named Jiangrong, also from Mashan, and he was a true member of the Mashan Orthodox sect more than 500 years ago. Speaking of Jiangrong, he was the most talented individual in the entire Mashan sect, a rare genius in the Mashan tradition for several centuries. However, when it came to his temperament and behavior, he was also the most unruly disciple in the Mashan sect. The rules of the Mashan Orthodox sect were very strict, but this guy didn't care about rules at all. During the day, he could pretend a bit because of the pressure from his master and the elders in the sect. But at night, he would sneak out, climb over the walls, and go to the town below the mountain to drink and eat meat. At this time, no one would imagine that he was a disciple of the prestigious Mashan Orthodox sect. He looked more like a wandering adventurer of the martial world. It was in the year when Jiangrong was around 25 or 26 that one day he secretly went to a small tavern in the town to have a drink. After having his fill of food and drink, he suddenly felt a strange aura lingering faintly in the tavern. This aura emanated from a man sitting at a table behind him. Jiangrong knew most of the people in the town, and this man was clearly a stranger who had been silently drinking at the table. Although he felt that the man's aura was somewhat unusual, Zhang Rong didn't show any reaction. He settled the bill and left the tavern. But unexpectedly, later that night, in a small alley, he encountered the same man again. At that time, Zhang Rong was feeling a bit tipsy from the cold wind, and he was getting drowsy, just wanting to go back and have a good sleep without paying much attention to the person. But in the instant the two passed each other, Zhang Rong felt that strange aura intensify, and in an instant, a bolt of realization struck his mind. This person was a monster. Indeed, Zhang Rong realized that this man was not human, but a creature in human form. The man clearly sensed that Zhang Rong had seen through his disguise, but he didn't react either. However, as a Martian sorcerer facing a monster, Zhang Rong unconsciously emitted a killing intent. Faced with Zhang Rong's killing intent, the man didn't react at all. He merely stopped in his tracks and slightly tilted his head. Don't cause trouble. In theory, sorcerers and monsters are natural enemies who cannot coexist, but Zhang Rong was free-spirited and unbound by convention. He thought, even if the heavens allow you to cultivate to this level, why should I meddle in your business? With those words, Zhang Rong continued to walk up the mountain, swaying along, and the man also remained unfazed, never looking back at Zhang Rong. They thought it was just a passing encounter with a monster, and that would be the end of it. However, they could never have imagined that a major incident would occur in the town the following night. A wealthy family surnamed Li in the town was wiped out. The entire family of dozens of people met a gruesome end in their home. Not only that, the killer set a massive fire that consumed everything, clearly intending to destroy all evidence. With such an incident happening, Zhang Rong couldn't sit still. Amidst the blaze, he arrived at the scene, wanting to investigate what had happened. Little did he know, here he sensed the presence of a monster, the same aura from the fox demon of the previous night. This infuriated Zhang Rong. He had spared the demon last night, and it had committed such a heinous act. Following that thread of monstrous aura, Zhang Rong tracked it down to the town center and indeed found the fox demon. Bold monster, how dare you take lives? This time, Zhang Rong couldn't spare him anymore. He leaped forward and blocked the demon's path. I won't spare you today. Get lost. Seeing Zhang Rong blocking the way, the fox demon didn't retreat but instead quickened its pace and charged forward. Tian Shu. Kill. This further infuriated Zhang Rong. He brandished his heavenly gang sword technique, unleashing a special demon-slaying move towards the fox demon. The fox demon was quite formidable. Knowing the danger of this move, it didn't dare to underestimate Zhang Rong. It stopped its movement, took a strong stance, and firmly blocked the attack with its sword. After the sword energy passed, it hadn't been harmed in the slightest, but its eyes were fixed on Zhang Rong with a malicious glare. Thinking of escaping? No chance. However, perhaps the fox demon also understood Zhang Rong's prowess, as it didn't stay for battle but instead transformed into a fox-shaped shadow and leaped over the wall to flee. Zhang Rong couldn't let it escape and pursued it, sword in hand. However, to Zhang Rong's surprise, after chasing for just 2 blocks, the fox demon vanished without a trace, and he witnessed another gruesome massacre. In the center of the town, another wealthy family surnamed Li was experiencing a slaughter, filled with sounds of hacking and screams. From a distance, Zhang Rong saw the gates of this family's courtyard wide open, with several black-clad individuals ruthlessly attacking the members of the Li family in the courtyard. These black-clad assailants were highly skilled, and with their sharp weapons, the ordinary members of the Li family stood no chance. They fell one by one in pools of blood. Moreover, it was evident that these black-clad individuals were not mere bandits or thugs, but had received strict training. Their actions were precise and ruthless, one slash after another. Their methods were exceptionally brutal, sparing no one in this family, regardless of age or gender. Not a single member was intended to survive. While carrying out the massacre, They didn't forget to set a raging fire. Watching this horrifying scene of carnage, Jiang Rong's teeth clenched tightly, producing a grinding sound.